Hi, this is Dr. O'Hara, and I'm continuing in the internship proposal with the page numbering. So I'm going to insert my page numbers here. I'm going to pick top of the page, right-hand side. I want to make sure that my number is Times New Roman, 12-point font, so I may need to go back here to double check that. Then the other thing that I want to check is that my first page is checked off here, different first page, because the first page doesn't have a page number and the subsequent pages do. So now I'm all set. So I'm going to close this and I'm going to move on. If you have any questions on page numbering, you can check page 10 of the style guide. Let's move on to the next section, which is the introduction. And if you're going to use the course paper format, then this is the way you would set it up. The introduction is a level 1 heading, is the first line on the page. If you want to do the chapter format, then let's add that chapter designation. So it's going to be centered. And chapter. So the first line on the page is the chapter designation, and then we're going to have the introduction, which is a level 1 heading. Then we're going to have nature of the problem, which is a level 2 heading. Now, after you have done these headings that are centered, you want to make sure that your margin now is on the left flush position. The nature of the problem is the first section, and this is where you're going to explain why this topic is worthy of study. And you may need to use a few references to support your point of view. This paper is written in the future tense and in the third person. So that means no I, we, our, or me. The next section is the purpose of the internship. Notice how this is all double spaced. There's no extra spaces between the paragraphs and the heading, or between the heading and the next paragraph. The purpose of the internship is to learn a skill or to learn about a topic that you do not already know how to do from a mentor. If you are doing a teaching assistantship, the purpose is to learn about teaching, either in a traditional setting or in an online setting. You will not be performing any evaluations of the students or the class for the internship paper, but you may be doing this for your instructor as part of your duties, but that's not the purpose of the paper. The purpose of the paper is to learn about teaching. This section should just be a few paragraphs, maybe even up to a page. The next section is Chapter 2, or the review of literature. It's a level 1 heading. Remember, if you are using the 5-chapter format, that each chapter starts on a new page. The review of literature for the proposal is extremely brief. It's just a few paragraphs, maybe a page at the most, that supports the nature of the problem and explains why the topic is worthy of study. Please see the table on page 177 of the 6th edition of the publication manual for the APA style for the proper way to insert your citations. One rule of thumb with citations is that you should have at a minimum 1 citation per paragraph. Obviously, you're going to have multiple ideas in a paragraph, so you'll want to cite where you got your information from, and that's okay. But I just wanted to point out that in the review of literature, it's what the literature says, and so that's why you need to have the sources of where the information comes from. I'm going to stop here and pick up again with the methods and procedures.